Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television, and our first guest in the studio today has been with us several times. We do appreciate her coming to see us again, Kristy Williams from CASA. Thank you, Kristy, for coming in. You're always busy down there.
Yes.
But we appreciate you coming in. We want to talk a little bit about CASA. You've been in the studios before, and some people know what CASA is, and others kind of look at you a little strange when you talk about CASA. What's it stand for? That's probably the first place we need to start.
CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates.
Okay. And primarily, maybe just kind of give a little brief on what you do as far as CASA itself.
CASA is only involved in situations where children are taken into the foster care system. Okay. We kind of stand in the gap, and or we're a voice for the children as they go through this time of crisis. And so we kind of check out the situation, and then we give a report to the judge to help the judge make a more informed decision concerning their futures.
So you work very closely, obviously, with the judicial system,
yes.
law enforcement and the judges and so forth.
Yes, DHS. And the parent council and just anyone that's involved with assisting these children in this time.
You know, there's a lot of we have had numerous organizations in here on our show, and sometimes you don't realize how complex the systems are. I call it the fingers that go out from the center that touch, like yourself and DHS and other organizations, where in your particular case it has to do with juveniles, with children.
Yes.
In many cases it may have to do with adults and children, or vice versa, adults, you know, everything from sexual abuse to whatever. But there's a lot of good organizations, and probably what makes the wheel go around is the cooperation of those organizations.
Very much so, very much so. We work in conjunction with the CALL, which recruits, trains, and supports foster homes. We have a severe shortage of foster homes, which sometimes causes the children that are in care locally to be placed outside our counties.
Oh, wow.
That slows a lot of processes, and it just takes the kids not only out of their home, but out of their environment here. We work with Grandma's House, which is a child advocacy center. Sure. Just to see if there's anything that we can do during the times that, you know, any information that the judge might need to know. We work with the CACD, the Crimes Against Children Division of the State Police. We work with the attorney ad litem for the children. We work with the parent council while we're trying to reunify these families.
Wow.
So there's a lot of aspects, you know, and we work closely, of course, with DHS. The workers have such a huge caseload.
They do have.
That any way we can all cooperate does help things go faster for the kids, and that's the ultimate goal.
Do you get your initial input from any particular organization? I mean, like where would you get the name of a juvenile? Where would it normally come from?
CASA's not involved until the case is in court.
Okay.
And then at that time, either the judge or another attorney involved in the case requests that CASA be assigned.
Okay.
And then when we have an advocate available to take the case, then we assign that advocate to that specific case.
Okay.
And they begin working it.
We were talking before we started the show, and just give us some numbers. I mean, what are we looking at in a normal year, if there is such a thing?
Well, just as a picture right now, there are over 70 kids in Boone County alone.
Wow. That
are in care, and CASA's in need of advocates to serve those kids. We're with our current advocates, which we're so grateful for, we're only servicing about 40% of the kids that are in care.
What's the ratio you have to have of advocate to?
It kind of is based on the demands of each case.
Okay.
And the availability of the advocates. We try not put over 2 cases at a time on each advocate, because we want that thorough that not as many organizations have the time to commit to.
Sure.
And so it's a unique situation that our advocates are able to bring about, having the time to, and the release from the judge to get the information needed. So we have a very unique role, and we need more advocates to help with that.
Wow! So if you have 70 kids involved in Boone County, then you have Marion, Newton, in Baxter County. My goodness.
Yes.
I mean, Baxter's probably a bigger county than population-wise, but I don't know about
Baxter and Boone are staying pretty equal as far as kids in care. They're relatively within 10 to 15 to 20 kids.
So let's just say we're both roughly 70, then what would Marion and Newton be? Quite a bit less?
Yeah, Marion and Newton run a lot lower, and so we're looking at under 200 children, but that's still a relatively high number. Gotcha. And any kids in care, you know, they're in crisis, and this is our future. These children are our future.
Let's go back to the advocates situation. If somebody out there in the viewing audience said, well, boy, CASA sounds like a great organization, I've got some time, I'd like to get involved, obviously they can contact your offices here. How much time would you look? Well, first of all, what kind of training do you have to go through?
First of all, our advocates go through a thorough background check. We don't want to expose children to any further trouble. You know, we make sure that the people that we put in advocacy are well-rounded individuals. Then they do go through 30 hours of classroom training. They also go through court observation, and throughout the whole time we're still doing the screening process to assure that the individuals that we're charging with this responsibility are up to that challenge. And then we ask that advocates be prepared to volunteer for 10 to 15 hours a month. Well, some months are going to be more, depending on the beginning of your case is a little busier, and then some months are going to kind of be a little bit of slower time. So it's kind of an average of 10 to 15 hours. We do ask that advocates be willing to commit to the length of a case, which is generally from 1 year to a year and a half. Consistency is important in these kids' lives, and we have a lot of changing people in changing roles, and we'd like for CASA to be a consistent. So we ask that the advocates consider that commitment time. Yeah, that's not, I actually thought it might be even more than that. Some cases do go on, but we've also seen a few cases here recently where the parents have just really stepped up and taken care of things and reunified their family quickly. So the high end and the low end average out to a year to a year and a half. Well, that's really, currently, let's say if you've got 70 kids, have you got 30 or 40 advocates in the program right now? Or? In the 14th Judicial District, we're running around 30. Are you? But we need so many more. That's not very many, really. We would love to have advocates waiting for a case. Wow, that'd be good to do, wouldn't it? Yeah. Do you get any, like area churches, let's say, could they be a feeder for you for some of these individuals? Yes, we would love to rely on our community. We have a campaign called I Am for the Child, and it's really our community's responsibility to surround these children. Yes. You know, in the absence of parents, who is going to stand in, and we need our community to stand up and say, I'm for the child, regardless of what brought on the situation. Well, we hope you do. We got about 4 minutes. Let's talk about your fundraiser that you've got coming up. It's an annual event. I think it's your 4th year, if I saw that correct. Yes. I'll just let you talk about it a little bit here. It's our 4th annual Chili con Casa, Chili Cook-Off. And we have a lot of people around the area that brag on their awesome chili, and this is the opportunity to come and put up or whatever. Put up. Bring out their chili recipes. We have a lot of people already signing up, and it's going to be great. For cookers, if you just want to come and cook your chili, it's $25 entry. If you want to be a sponsor and cook, that's $100. And you can also just sponsor for $100. We're going to have tickets for the public to come eat for $5. Kids 6 and under will eat free. But we're going to have inflatables for the kids, and we'll have some music going, and the winners are judged on, there's 3 categories you can win in the Chili Cook-Off. There's the People's Choice. Everyone who buys a ticket to eat also gets to vote. And then we have a Judge's Choice, and we also have the Best Booth, because we want people to come and show off. You're doing this at the Youth Center again? It is at the Youth Center again. Very good. Hopefully our weather will cooperate.
Be like it is
Yeah,
today?
it's going to be February 27th.
Okay.
It'll start at 5 p.m.
Okay. Now, is that both the tasting? I know you have two different sheets there. Is that tasting and everything starts at 5?
Everything starts at 5. Yeah,
Okay,
we have our cookers come a little early and set up.
Okay.
But it'll be open at 5 for people to start
And go
coming
to
in.
about
8 o'clock. We
somewhere
kind of
in there?
estimate if we're having a really good time, we may stay longer.
So it's a family event. You can come
Oh,
down, bring the kids,
very
and
much
come
so.
in, and obviously all the proceeds go to CASA.
Yes.
To help
Yes,
out.
definitely.
It sounds like a lot of fun. You know, it's amazing. Out in the viewing audience, I promise you, there's a lot of people out there that enjoy cooking, number one, and number two, kind of specialize in certain things. Like some people get into barbecue, some get into baking, others get into chili or stews or whatever. But you know, it's always a fun thing when everybody likes to go somewhere to have an opportunity to let other people try what they think is the best.
Right, it's a great community time, and we have people bringing their deer chili and
I thought about that.
just all kinds of varieties. It's a wide range.
That's good. So this event will take place at the youth center again. So if they want to sign up, do they contact CASA here?
Yeah, you can contact CASA either on our Facebook page or on our website, which is casa14.org.
Okay.
Or you can call the office at 743-2212.
So either one of those, yeah.
Any one of those.
You have a good website too. I mean, it's easy to get around and find stuff. Well, this is a fun event. It's something that if you're out there and you want to have some fun, if you want to just do some tasting, and you can be the critic against the people that are out there doing what they think they're best at, or you can try to be one of those that's the best in making chili. And again, it goes to CASA, court-appointed special advocates, and they need your help out there. A lot of kids in the 14th district, a couple of hundred kids out there, and they need volunteers. So if you happen to have a little time, as Kristy mentioned, anywhere from 10 to 15, 20 hours a month, that's not a lot. A lot of organizations require a lot more time than that, and this certainly goes to a good cause. It's for the youth in the area. Kristy, it's always a pleasure to have you come in and for your wonderful work, and take special people to do what you do. So we appreciate that very much. Stay with us. Be back for the second half of our Connection show in just a moment, and we're going to talk with another organization that's got a lot of things going on as well.